Hi, it's Maria from Pattern Paradise. Welcome. Today we'll be working on the Circle of Life Afghan Square. This is a 12-inch Afghan square that can be used for a throw, a pillow, a purse, or many other projects. For my square, I'll be using 3 colors of worsted weight yarn and a size H or a 5mm hook. You could use other weights of yarn, just make sure that you match the hook to the size of the yarn that you're using. To get started, for round 1, we'll start with a magic circle. Make a loop around your fingers, pull the yarn through, and chain it 1 to lock it in. Now we're going to be working single crochets. Insert the hook in the center, pull out a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops for a single crochet. We'll be making 12 single crochets in the center of the magic circle. When you get to the end, you can pull the tail a little bit to tighten the center hole, and then join to the first single crochet with a slip stitch. And let's move on to round 2. For round 2, we're going to chain 3, which counts as a half double crochet plus a chain 1, and then work a half double crochet in the next stitch. To work a half double crochet, you'll yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops at once. Chain 1, and then work a half double crochet and a chain 1 in the next stitch. You can repeat this all the way around, half double crochet and a chain 1 in each stitch. When you get to the end, join with a slip stitch to the second chain of the beginning chain 3. And now fasten off your yarn because we're going to be changing colors for the next round. Pull the beginning tail tightly to close that hole in the center, and I like to secure it right away so that it doesn't keep opening on me. Now take the loose end, and to make a nice finished edge, thread that tail into your tapestry needle. Insert it in the next stitch, not the one that you're working on, but the next stitch. Pull it through, and then put the needle through the center of the last stitch that you made, and pull that to the back. And you'll see that you have a nice clean V that looks like all the other V's in each of the other stitches. At this point, you should have 12 half double crochets and 12 chain 1 spaces all the way around. Now we'll move on to round 3. For round 3, pick up your next color and join it in any chain 1 space. When I join a new color, I like to pull both loops, both ends of the yarn through because I think it secures them better. Chain 2, and then double crochet in the same space. This is going to be your first cluster stitch. The beginning stitch is slightly different than the other clusters. Chain 2, and now you'll be working a cluster and a chain 2 in each chain 1 space all the way around. To work a cluster, make a double crochet but don't finish it, leave 2 loops on the hook. Work another double crochet in the same space and don't finish it. Now yarn over and pull through 2 loops twice. Chain 2. And again, work a cluster in the next chain 1 space. Pull through 2 loops and pull through the last 2 loops. And chain 2. Work this all the way around to the end of the round. When you get to the end of the round, join with a slip stitch to the very top of your beginning cluster. At this point, you'll have 12 clusters and 12 chain spaces. For round 4, you're going to chain 1, single crochet in that first cluster, and then work 3 single crochets in the chain spaces. So you'll work a single crochet in each cluster and 3 single crochets in each space all the way around. And join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round to complete the round. You'll have 48 single crochets in this round. For round 5, chain 5. This counts as a half double crochet and chain 3. Skip 2 stitches and then half double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 3, skip 2 stitches and repeat. Half double crochet in the next stitch, chain 3, and skip 2. Repeat this all the way around to the end. And when you get to the end, you'll be joining with a slip stitch to the second chain of the beginning chain 5. You will have 16 half double crochets and 16 chain spaces in this round. In round 6, we establish the square shape by forming 4 corners. We do this by chaining 8, which counts as a double crochet and a chain 5, and then double crochet in the same half double crochet that you started. This will form the first corner. Make 2 double crochets in the next chain 3 space, half double crochet in the next half double crochet, 2 half double crochets in the next chain 2 space, a half double crochet in the next half double crochet, and 2 half double crochets in the next chain space. Half double crochet in the next half double crochet, and 2 double crochets in the next chain space. To form the next corner, double crochet, chain 5, and double crochet in the next half double crochet. Now repeat the sequence for the next side. 2 double crochets in the first chain space, half double crochet in the next half double crochet, 2 half double crochets in the next chain space, half double crochet in the next half double crochet, 2 half double crochets in the next chain space, half double crochet in the next half double crochet, 2 double crochets in the next chain space, and then form the corner in the next stitch. Repeat the sequence until you have all 4 sides completed. When you get to the end, join with a slip stitch to the third chain of the beginning chain 8. You'll have 4 corners, 24 double crochets, and 28 half double crochets in this round. Now to get to round 7, you're going to slip stitch into the corner space and chain 2, which in this case does not count as a stitch. You're going to make a cluster 3, which is the same as a cluster 2, except you're adding one more double crochet that's not complete. So make a double crochet and pull through the first 2 loops. Don't complete it. Make another double crochet and pull through the 2 loops. Don't complete it. And make one more, pull through the 2 loops and don't complete. Yarn over and pull through 3 loops, and yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. That's a cluster 3. Chain 2, work another cluster 3 in the same space. Now chain 5. Work another cluster 3 in the same space. Chain 2, and work one more cluster 3 in the same space. You now have a corner for this round. Chain 3, skip 3 stitches, and you're going to work a double crochet in between the 3rd and 4th stitch. Not in the stitch, but in between the 2 stitches. Chain 3 again, skip 3 stitches, and work a double crochet in the next half double crochet. Chain 3, skip 3 stitches, and work a double crochet in the space between the 10th and 11th stitch of the previous round. Chain 3, skip the last 3 stitches, and repeat from the corner. Work a cluster 3, chain 2, another cluster 3, chain 5, another cluster 3, chain 2, and one more cluster 3. The next corner is complete. Now chain 3, skip 3 stitches, work a double crochet between the 3rd and 4th stitch, chain 3, skip 3, work a stitch in the next half double crochet, chain 3, skip 3, work a double crochet in between the 10th and 11th stitch, chain 3, skip the last 3, and start from the corner once again. Repeat this all the way to the end. And when you get to the end, slip stitch to the very first cluster 3. You will have 16 cluster 3s, 12 double crochets, and 16 chain 3 spaces, plus 8 chain 2 spaces and 4 corner spaces for this round. To get to round 8, you must slip stitch across till you get to the corner. Chain 2, which does not count as a stitch, and then start the corner sequence again. Cluster 3, chain 2, cluster 3, chain 5, another cluster 3, chain 2, and one more cluster 3, all in the corner. And your corner is made. Now chain 2 and skip the next 2 cluster stitches. Make 3 double crochets in each of the chain 3 spaces and 1 double crochet in each double crochet all the way up to the next corner. When you get to the first 2 cluster 3s of the next corner, chain 2 and skip them, and then start your corner sequence in the chain space. Cluster 3, chain 2, cluster 3, chain 5, cluster 3, chain 2, and one more cluster 3. Repeat the sequence for all the remaining sides. When you get to the end of the round, slip stitch to the top of the very first cluster stitch. At the end of this round, you'll have 16 cluster 3s, 60 double crochets, 16 chain 2 spaces, and the 4 corner spaces. For round 9, we're going to chain 1 and single crochet in the top of the cluster 3. Single crochet in the chain 2 space, and single crochet in the top of the next cluster. In the next chain space, make 2 single crochets, chain 2, and 2 more single crochets to establish the corner. Single crochet in the top of the cluster, 1 single crochet in the chain 2 space, and a single crochet in the top of the cluster. Now make 2 single crochets in the next chain space, and single crochet in each stitch to the next chain 2 space. Work 2 single crochets in the chain 2 space, and then start your sequence again with 1 single crochet in the top of the cluster, 1 single crochet in the next chain space, 1 single crochet in the top of the cluster, 2 single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets in the corner, single crochet in the top of the cluster, single crochet in the next chain space, single crochet in the top of the cluster, 2 single crochets in the next chain 2 space, single crochet in each stitch to the next chain 2 space. single crochet in the last chain 2 space, and then repeat the sequence to complete all 4 sides. And when you get to the end, join with a slip stitch to the very first stitch of the round. At this point, you'll have 116 single crochets and 4 corner spaces. Fasten off, and we'll be joining color 1 again for the next round. For round 10, join the new color in any corner chain 2 space. Chain 1, and then single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet in the same corner. Single crochet in each stitch to the next corner. Repeat the sequence to the end and join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Now that you've got round 10 completed, you should have 124 single crochets and 4 chain spaces. For round 11, we'll be joining color 3. Join in a corner chain space, chain 2, which counts as a half double crochet, and make 2 more half double crochets in the same space. The center half double crochet will count as the corner going forward. Now chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and half double crochet in the next stitch. You'll do this 15 times. When you have your 15 repeats and you're at the end, chain 1, skip the last stitch, and work 3 half double crochets in the corner chain space. The center stitch will be your new corner. Chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet in the next stitch 15 times, and then repeat the sequence all the way to the end. When you get to the end, join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round. At the end of this round, you'll have 72 half double crochets and 64 chain 1 spaces. Join color 2 in any corner stitch. Chain 2, which counts as a half double crochet, and work 2 more half double crochets in the same stitch to form the corner. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and half double crochet in the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, skip a stitch, and half double crochet in the next chain 1 space. Repeat this to the corner. When you get to the corner, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and work 3 half double crochets in the center stitch of the corner. Repeat this sequence for each corner all the way around and join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round. You will have 76 half double crochets and 68 chain 1 spaces when you complete this round. Fasten off your color, and for round 13 we'll join color 3.
Join the color in any corner, chain 2, which counts as a half double crochet, and work two half double crochets in the same corner stitch. Repeat the sequence as for round 12, working a half double crochet in each chain 1 space with a chain 1 in between. At the end of round 13, you'll have 80 half double crochets and 72 chain 1 spaces. You'll fasten off the color and you'll join color 1 for round 14. Join color 1 in any corner stitch, chain 1 and work 3 single crochets in the corner to form the new corner. Now work 2 single crochets in each chain 1 space to the next corner. When you get to the corner, work 3 single crochets in the corner stitch, and then continue working 2 single crochets in each chain 2 space all the way around, repeating the sequence. When you get to the end of the round, join the round and fasten off the color. You'll have 156 single crochets at the end of round 14. For round 15, you'll join color 2 in any corner. Chain 5, which counts as a double crochet in a chain 2, and then double crochet in the same stitch to form the new corner. Double crochet in each single crochet to the next corner. When you get to the next corner, work a double crochet, chain 2 and double crochet, and then double crochet in each single crochet all the way around. Join the round, and you'll have 160 double crochets plus 4 corner spaces. For round 16, slip stitch into the corner chain space, chain 1, and work 3 single crochets in the corner. For the rest of this side, you'll be working in the back loop only, single crochet in each stitch to the next corner. You'll see that working in the back loop only creates the decorative ridge in the last round. The square is now completed and may be used as is, but we're going to be adding the Circle of Life braid around the 5th round of this square. You'll be working in the half double crochets that you made in round 5. With color 3, join in any half double crochet with a slip stitch. Chain 11, and make a loop by slip stitching in the first chain that you made. Now chain 3, working towards the next half double crochet. Slip stitch around the bar of the next half double crochet and chain 11. Slip stitch in the first chain, and you have your second loop. Chain 3, and now work around the post of the next half double crochet.
And you see you have one loop for each half double crochet. Work in this format until you have one half double crochet left. When you have just one half double crochet left, work a slip stitch around it and chain 11, but this time don't slip stitch in the first chain. Instead, pull your yarn through and leave a long tail. You may thread your tapestry needle, and then you can start working the braid. To work the braid, take the second loop and slip it through the first loop, and take the third loop and slip it through the second loop, and so on, slipping each successive loop through the previous one. You may do this by hand, or you can use a larger crochet hook to pull the loops through if you find that easier. Once you get to the last loop, pull the yarn needle through the last loop that you have and pull the chain 11 through. Now, working under the loop of the first loop that you made, pull your yarn through with the chain 11 and then go back down through the middle of the last loop that you created to close the chain 11. Pull it securely and smooth it out. And you have a completed braid. At this point, turn it to the back side and secure it in place, and then you can weave your ends in later on. And there you have it, the Circle of Life square. I hope you've enjoyed this square and hope you find lots of projects to use it with. Thank you for joining.